Hello and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today on A Vogel Talks Menopause I'm going to be answering why the menopause could make you more clumsy and also make you bruise more easily. Now, if you like my tips and advice, then please subscribe and hit the bell icon to make sure that you're notified of my new videos every week. Now, what do I mean by clumsy? Well, it's things like dropping things, knocking things over, bumping into things, tripping up, just becoming more accident prone generally. The more serious ones would be things like falling over, and I know a number of ladies have told me that for the first time in their lives they've ended up having slight bangs with their car because they've misjudged distances. So why on earth does this happen? Well, it's all to do with falling estrogen and progesterone. This sort of combination basically just causes loss of coordination. You can end up with poor concentration, just clumsiness generally. Remember that falling estrogen can also affect your eyesight, so that might be one of the issues. And there are women who end up experiencing dizziness and lightheadedness, and that can all contribute to this particular situation. So what can you do about this one? It's more to do with balancing the hormones. So you could look at our menopause support if it's appropriate. That can help to just very gently raise and balance your estrogen levels. If you feel that you're getting a little bit squinty, if you're not seeing things as well as normal, definitely get your eyes tested. You could look at exercise as well. It's really important because part of the problem with the menopause is that our muscles and bones can get weaker, and that can be a factor in finding that we can't control our bodies just as much as what we would like to as well. You need to practice balance, and this is a really important one. The sooner you start this, the better, because for a lot of women, part of the problem of tripping up and even falling over, it's to do with the fact that your balance deteriorates. And it's a known fact that a lot of older women who end up getting hip fractures, the initial fall was caused because they lost their balance. You can do things like yoga, that's absolutely fabulous. The other thing you can do is one of these kind of balancing boards. I've got one, I'm still not very good at it, but this is something you only need to practice for 5 minutes on a daily basis, and it can make a huge amount of difference with this as well. The other thing too is that if you're getting dizziness, then there can be a number of factors, and there'll be a link here to my dizziness blog. Remember the water, that's a really important one, because that will help with both concentration and dizziness as well. The other thing is don't beat yourself up about this. I was talking to a lady not long ago who was just having a terrible time. She was knocking cups of coffee and tea all over the place and just having a really tough time with being extra clumsy. And she was really giving herself a hard time. That makes you more stressed, it makes you more unhappy, and that can make the condition worse. So just remember that this is one of these phases. It's not likely to be a long-lasting one, and this is something that most women will certainly walk away from as they go further through the menopause as well. Now, what about what causes bruising? It can be just the fact that you're extra clumsy and banging into things. So if you help to sort of focus on that, then that can certainly make a difference. One of the things that does happen though is that falling estrogen thins the skin. And it just means that there's less padding from the outside of your skin to the blood vessels. And so just even a light knock can end up making you bruised. We've also got nutritional deficiency, and remember at this time your nutritional needs go sky high, and certainly things like vitamin C, zinc and vitamin K are all needed to help with good skin tone. You can look at diet generally, because if you're not eating particularly well, then you're going to be nutritionally deficient generally. Supplements here, there is one called, if I can pronounce it properly, hyaluronidase acid. And you can get this in capsules, you can also get it in cream. And this is known to be very good for helping to strengthen and stabilize the skin. So it's a nice one to take. Some women also find it really helpful for things like vaginal dryness as well. You can look at our arnica gel. This is specifically for bruising and for joint and muscle inflammation as well. Remember the water too, because that's an important one as always. The other thing you need to look at is if you are getting unexplained bruising, which means that you either can't remember knocking into anything or you just suddenly seem to wake up with lots of different bruises. It's really important to get this one checked out by your doctor. There can be a number of reasons, but it's always important just to double check with this before you self-medicate. So this is a short one today, but hopefully you found it quite interesting. If any of you have had any experiences that you wish to share, that would be absolutely great. And if any of you have had any tips on how you managed to focus and concentrate when you were getting a little bit clumsy, then please do let us know. We would love to hear from you. So I look forward to seeing you next week for another edition of A. Vogel Talks Menopause.